scared to move this. Don't do anything. You mighty morphin.
Tell me, have you ever had your heart broken into? It's gonna be a yes for me. I knew better than to give my heart up for you. Something tells me that the pain that I felt in the past ain't a thing compared to the love that the Lord gon' let me feel. So I wait, unafraid, with no walls to keep me safe. 'Cause if love ain't killed me yet, I ain't gon' stop trying. I ain't gon' stop fighting for love. All I know is love ain't killed me yet, so I'ma be more than fine. If I try one more time, I ain't afraid to try again. 'Cause love hasn't killed me yet. Love hasn't killed me yet. Even if the road that I've been,
We back, man.
love hasn't killed me yet. Love hasn't killed me yet, so I ain't gon' be afraid to try again. I know it's probably hard to believe, especially if you're so happy with trees.
What up, y'all? When you join the live, do us a favor. Let us know you're here. Put it in the chat. Share the video too if you can. Let people know we on. It's Thursday. It's what they never told us night. Y'all know what it is. Join the live. Share. Tell people join the conversation. If love ain't killed you yet, you might as well try it again. Hold up. Hold up. Drop your name in the chat if you joining. Like the video too. Tell the algorithm they need to push this. It's good content. We got a good episode lined up for you guys. It's gonna be fun, like it always is. Thursdays are always a vibe. Always a vibe. There's no other place to be on a Thursday. What else is happening on Thursday besides what they never told us? Are you on the I can't go with the Facebook, it's gonna stop the music. Can you do the highlighting followers and the thing?
Go farther than heaven to prove it. If that's what you want, I know you've been hurt before. It's got you jaded. You won't trust me at all. It's crazy. Cause I'm giving my all to you. And I want you to know that I've been heartbroken too. But that ain't gonna stop me from loving you, boy. What good would that do if I really want to love you?
Hey Robinson, what's up?
My boy. My brother. No better place to be on a Thursday, family.
Is Kristen with you today?
Don't be afraid to name it. Give us a title. I know it's scary cause once you name it, you put your heart out on the line. Boy, it was so alive, so just name it. I want you go and name it. Don't be afraid to name it.
Hi, Nia.
Just call it what it is. Real love, don't be afraid to
Say, what's happening?
I can promise you.
Thank you.
Nia, come say hi to the side of like, come look in the camera this way.
All I wanna do
Wave at the camera.
is show you things that the others didn't. Like reciprocity,
Nia says hi.
appreciation for your affection and honesty. I give you all you want, I give you all you need. You can let your walls down, cause ain't nothing can stop me from loving you, boy. If I really want to,
That felt petty. I ain't gonna hold you up. You covering me up felt super petty. I ain't gonna lie, you covering me up felt petty.
I'm trying to see myself.
What up, Kristen?
Hey, girl.
Lauren said, hey, sweet baby.
Lauren.
What up, Lauren? What up, homie? Whoa, whoa.
Just call it what it is, real love. Don't be afraid to name it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to name it. Don't be afraid.
Ain't nobody said they here.
We just get wrong like we did last time. Yo,
I mean, Robinson, Kristen, and Lauren.
they ain't been beholden to the 8:30-ish time frame. Now, granted, we ain't been the most consistent, but
We definitely went on that.
they be
8:30
popping in
today.
when they feel like it. We gonna go ahead and get started, y'all. If you're here and you haven't shared, shame on you. For shame. Make sure you share the video, please. Like it too. Drop us a heart. It tells the algorithm that this is something that people want to see, and it pushes us out. So we need y'all. What up, Shanika? What up, gang? Off rip, you get some of them. Off rip.
Did you give everybody else hand claps?
No, the music was playing, so you couldn't really hear
Well,
it.
she
but
get hand claps because she just graduated, and I don't think she had graduated the last time we was on here. So congratulations.
What? No, and she get air horns. I need some explosions too, and you get some of those little razzle dazzles too.
Okay.
Shout out to you guys. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Make sure my comments is up. And
You have
all
a
that.
kickstand?
I have a kickstand. Yes, I do. You sounded real
And you
judgy
was
about
talking
that.
about me with my little wristband thing. Yours 2006.
This is a brand new case.
It's
Okay.
very 2006. Your little kickstand.
Don't be hating. Don't hate on me. You right? What's going on, family? It's your boy Russell the Fourth.
Hey everybody, it is me, Brandy.
And welcome to another live episode of the What They Never Told Us podcast. We back like we never left, and it's live. So we got the gang with us, babe. Who's here?
We have Mr. Christopher James Robinson Sr. And his lovely girl, Kristen, Lauren, Shanika. And that's it right now. Hold on. Why you shouting out him? I'm the one who told him that you graduated, Shanika. Wait a minute now.
No, that's because I gave her the hand claps before I even had nothing to celebrate. I was just like, oh, Shanika. Ooh. I was just hyped with it.
Yeah, our YouTube fam is missing today, but hopefully they decide to join us. Hopefully we're live on YouTube. Actually, I'm going to check that while we do our greetings and salutations.
We done started rolling now. We gotta keep talking. Shout out to you guys. Listen, man, I really enjoyed the conversation from the last episode. If you did not tune in, we talked about a few things, one of them being divorce and another being dating. Okay. And specifically talking about starting to divorce or starting to date after divorce. Mm-hmm. And we kind of talked about our experiences. Both were kind of ghetto, but you know what it is. Ashley Banks is in the building. What up, sis? She gets the whole government name put out there.
Hey, Ash.
What up, sis?
Yeah, it was a good conversation. I after I watched it back, I was like, man, is this really specific to us? I know most of the people who join us on the live are like happily married or happily in relationships. So congratulations to y'all. I haven't walked that journey, but I know we have a lot of listeners who have. He was looking for the live. He said he couldn't find it.
Oh, okay. Hey, check this out. Listen, this is what I want us to do. Do me a favor. If you're tuned in right now, if you are currently dating, I want you to tell me what's one of the things that is most important to you while dating. So if it's like finding somebody who's funny, or being able to laugh with them, or finding someone who is shares the same religion with you, put that in the chat. If you are currently married, dating, I want you to put. I'm not trying to plant no seeds. I'm saying if you were to enter the dating pool again, knowing what you know now, having experienced what you've experienced, what would be something that you would be particularly focused on while dating? If for some reason this didn't work out, let's not even say that. Let's say God calls me home because he just loves me so much. He's like, yo, Russ, come on. I just vanished into the sky.
I'm single forever.
What would be something?
I'm gonna play the field.
Oh, yeah, I heard it. You gotta chill. What would be something will be super important for you while dating?
Super important for me while dating would be somebody who, one, is financially stable / responsible, and very close second would be somebody that's like that runs their own household right now. Like that could like I want somebody who's efficient. Like I don't want to have to take care of anyone.
Mine would be fun. I will want somebody fun. I just like you can't.
That's it.
Huh? Yeah,
that's
like
the top priority is that they fun.
So I figure if I enter the dating pool again, I'm not looking for nobody to come in and take care of me. Like I want somebody to come in and just make me enjoy the rest of my days. Like I don't want to have to cheer you up. I don't want to have to come in and have nobody crabby. Like, are you happy? Cool. That's all I need. Just be fun.
It's very simple.
Just like don't make me sit. Don't make me regret. You know what I'm saying? Just come in here and let's have a ball. Yeah, that's what I want.
I can dig that. There was some comments.
Where'd the chat go?
I moved it because I'm doing something. Hey Shayla, welcome. Robinson said the most important thing to me is respect.
I hear a lot of guys say that. I hear respect is really big. I never.
What does that look like?
Respect?
Yeah, like I want him. You can answer too, but I would ask him.
Yeah, Robinson, drop that in the chat. I'll give my respect to me is just being able to communicate in a way that leaves no question about whether or not there is a reverence for who somebody is in your life, a reverence for what they mean to you. Like if that gets lost in communication, if you talk to me in a way to where I got to second guess who I am to you, then I know there's no respect there. Like if you talk to me like a boy, that means you don't think I'm a man. If you talk to me like I'm soft, that means you think I'm soft. So there's no respect or reference for who somebody is. If you talk to me like in a way that is disrespectful, meaning belittling, making you feel small, that means that there is no level of respect to me. That's how I would say it.
Okay. Ashley said they have to have a heart for God
Yay!
for sure.
I need church music.
Robinson added a caveat. He said, that's not a caveat. He said, if I enter the dating pool again, I'm moving out to the country today. This is my last go at it. This it.
Oh, Shayla's in here. What up, Shayla? Yeah. You get handcuffs, so you an OG.
Shayla says someone that is intentional. Robinson said fun because Russ is a big kid, so that makes sense. Absolutely. Shayla said, I feel that, Russ.
Thank you. Like at this stage, at 40, like, so can I say something? Because I feel like mine is petty.
It's not petty.
I have a whole lot of stuff that to me goes without saying. Like, you gotta have something for yourself. I'm not taking care of nobody in the sense of like, I don't want to second guess.
Are you provide for them? You have to.
Well, I don't necessarily mind that. I just don't want to feel
when you're dating.
No. I mean,
because we said dating.
Well, see, I'm intentional. So if I'm dating you, that means we're approaching, or I'm dating with the intent to marry. I don't want to feel like I don't want to have to second guess. Are you with me because you don't got nowhere to stay? Or are you with me because you truly love me and value me? Or are you with me because you see, I feel taken care of here. Like, I don't have to second guess that. But I wanted to put some depth to what I'm saying. I feel like some stuff goes without saying. Like, I'm not gonna say that you need no guy, because that goes without saying. Like, we need to be equally yoked there. And after all the other stuff, do I enjoy you? Yeah.
Shayla said, I feel that, Russ. Robinson said, respect is not going out your way to make me look less than or small.
That's big for me.
Devaluing or dismissive. Okay.
What is? I feel like you're wrestling with that.
Hey, Angel. She says, I finally made it. Well, we are so glad that you are here. I'm not necessarily wrestling with it.
Has Angel been here before?
No, she says, I finally made it. So I think that
she get all of the sound effects.
Timer.
She get all the sound
Don't
effects.
give her the shots fired.
All of that. Welcome. You made it. Welcome to the community. In here.
If you can't see, we love first time live viewers.
We love the OGs too.
Of course. They already know that, though.
It's love here.
We had to make sure that we shout out the ones who ain't never been here before. No, I was thinking deeply on respect, because I have heard that before. And I feel like sometimes, now I think you two did a good job of articulating that, but I have heard a lot of men say that they value respect in a relationship, but not a lot of articulation around what that means. I mean, you just got to respect me. And I'm like, but what does that mean to you? Like, what does that look like? Because I don't think it looks the same for everybody else. And hearing, like, you don't want to be talked down to, it sounds like Robinson's kind of in the same way, like, don't make me look less than or make me feel less than. And I just think about especially feeling less than, like, is that something that somebody can do?
Yes, absolutely. 100%. Now, no one can make you feel like, ultimately, like, your emotions have their own adjustment system based on your experiences, but someone can attempt. Now, regardless of whether or not you're successful, has nothing to do with you essentially is just, what is your attempt? The way you're speaking to me, are you attempting to make me smaller? Are you attempting to devalue?
It really has a lot to do with how someone addresses you, how they speak to you.
And
At least in your
and I'm not even
instance.
And I'm not even just limiting to that. I think anything, like when I think about my kids, if you go to school and you behave in a way that is outside of, who I am, what my expectations are, who your father is. Mm-hmm. And if you're behaving in ways that aren't reflective of your reference for me, that is by inherently disrespectful. Like, you don't have to talk to me any type of way. If you go to that classroom and talk crazy to your teacher, you're disrespecting me. If you go to the grocery store and you're flirting with your ex-boyfriend when I'm not there, that's disrespectful to me. It shows no reference for who I am in your life. I don't think it's just limited to how you speak to me. I think it's just like holding reference for what somebody means to you. I think is what respect is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Ryan.
My boy in here, Ryan Sharper's in the building. What up, my guy? You get air horns too. I'm in the giving spirit today.
Stop it.
What up? We in here.
I think we had a episode before about red flags, but I want to ask the people who are in relationship, like, how do you handle it when your partner exhibits like red flags? After you're already in a relationship? Yeah.
Is it a new red flag? Is this something that came out of nowhere? It's like, yo, where did this come from? You're like, let me get the full scenario so I know how to address this.
That's a red flag.
Is this one? It's important because, like, I think sometimes we wait until we're deep into a relationship to address something that you saw from day one.
Well, I feel like sometimes when you're first in a relationship, right, it's like all the lovey-dovey feelings, and maybe you start. Maybe they are exhibiting that, but you don't see it because you're like, oh my God, I just love her so much.
It's fine.
You know wrong. But now that we're in a relationship, right, and it's like, hey, I don't really like it when you do that. How do you handle that? Like, so let's say
you want to know how you should handle it or how do I actually handle it? Because them two different things.
No. I think you should handle it how you handle it, or vice versa. But
No, I mean, everybody has their their default settings that we gotta adjust and change.
I'm asking the question, assuming that no one in a relationship right now is is with their partner and like, oh, yo,
Well,
that's a red flag.
I'm gonna bring up how I handle it in my like not so evolved state, and how I handle it when I'm on my A game, right? So in my not so evolved state, in my passive aggressive state, I would maybe passively bring it up, but like in a manner that it made it seem like it's not that deep. You know, it's not really giving weight to what I'm feeling, to kind of just like test, okay, is this a sensitive area? Sometimes I wouldn't even address it at all. I would just store up feelings about it until I get to a point where I gotta address it. But by then, you know, I'm already on 7 of my irritation scale of whatever the red flag is. In my evolved state, I would love to just communicate it at the time when I felt like it was most appropriate and necessary.
Let me give a little backstory to why I'm asking this. I'm asking this specifically because our episode was about divorce, and I think in both of our experiences, there were red flags early on in the relationship. We still decided to get in the relationship, and we still decided to get married to that person. And for some, on a large scale on your side, and I think a smaller scale on my side, those red flags were contributed to the reason why we got divorced. So like once you notice them and you're already in a relationship, like how is that something that you try to work through? Is there a red flag and you should just back out, right? Like,
what does define red flag for me?
To me, red flag is like, oh, this is not going to work for me in a relationship. This is like you're exhibiting a characteristic, a symptom. So if I get very specific in my relationship, my ex constantly tried to back out of the relationship. Like he would be like, oh, I'm not sure this is what I want. I don't think you can love me the way I need to be loved. I'm not sure I want to be in a committed relationship, right? And ultimately, when we were dating, I was like, oh, like, why does he keep doing that? Like, it was really playing on my rejection issues. But at the time, I wanted to be with him more than I didn't want to be with him. So I proceeded forward. And ultimately, us getting divorced was just like, oh, I don't want to be married anymore. So to me, it was like I had several, like, hey, these are warning signs. You should probably pay attention to this. And I chose to ignore them.
Yeah, I think, well, I'll say this. If you're not married yet, you should attempt, if this is someone who you truly trying to build a life with, I think red flags are just human flaw. Human flaw is like in every person. Absolutely. So if it's something that you feel like is workable, and if it's a relationship you really value, I think the first attempt should just be like, okay, is this something that we can work on? Am I with somebody who is able to put the work on this area themselves, right? I would say if you're in a marriage, it's too late. Now it's just like, we got to fix this thing. Now it's just like, okay, we need outside intervention if it calls for that. We need therapy. We need community. And we need to build up, if we don't have it, like really fire communication between us, because marriage is just like, all right, you're in there now. and anyone who's been married before, and anybody knows, not like divorce is always an option, but it is taxing. On so many levels. I had no idea. I was just frustrated, yo. But when I got through that thing, I'm like, oh snap, this affects me financially. My whole life has changed, because now financially I have to readjust my entire life.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I don't care if you chose divorce or not. If y'all got kids, them kids not staying with you 24/7. And that apartment, when it's quiet, whoo! When them kids is gone, and you got to sit in your thoughts, and you got to sit in the weight of, dang, I failed at this. This didn't work. And you're replaying in your mind this conversation. Oh, I should have said this, or you know what I mean? So you have financial, you have emotional. Then you got the physical. That stress manifests in physical things. Divorce, to me looked like 100 pounds. Because my divorce was a slow boil. I mean, I ate through that thing. I Oreo'd my way through my divorce, and I came out that thing like, I am massive. My boy Robinson in this chat right now. He cooked me so hard at work till one day I was just like, I can't keep going to work and getting flamed at all. We went to Michigan Adventures. We took the kids at a job to Michigan Adventures, and I could not ride a roller coaster. They took
the little seatbelt thing over.
You know the ones that go, harness. Hey yo, you know the ones that go click, click, click. This guy said, I think we're good. I was so embarrassed. I said, fam, just let it go. He's like, no, we got this. He said, we just got to get it to click 4 times. The monk said, click, click. And then he put his foot up. And he got one click. He said, click. I said, now at the 3rd click, I couldn't breathe. At the 3rd click, I have no room for air. He said, we got this. I said, just let it go. He's like, no, we can do this. This man, literally, everyone's waiting for the
sandwich doing that thing, did he?
No, I didn't get that 4th click.
It didn't go?
I didn't get that 4th click. So now on top of, watch this.
Now you got to get off.
On top of, because he did that 3rd click, he had to undo everybody's. So now me getting off this roller coaster is even more embarrassing. It's like, and he yelled at the dude, hey, it's not gonna work. Hey, he's too big. Undo the harnesses. This dude Robinson was like, I was like, oh my God. I left that trip. I said, I am out of this marriage and I'm out of this weight. I don't care. I gotta do it. Something's gotta give. I don't know how I got on the subject, but all I'm trying to say is divorce will affect you in ways that you do not even see. For real.
And it ain't, I'm just going to chime in and just say it's not the silence of the apartment either. Because sometimes it's like the overwhelmingness of like, I got to raise these kids and it ain't nobody else here to help me. It ain't nobody, hey, can you grab the, it ain't nobody to grab the, it's just me.
They made me get up in the middle of the night, throw up.
Yeah,
it's only you.
Nobody to call. So it ain't just the loneliness that'll get you. It's the loneliness with the company of the kids.
Nah, for real.
Robinson says, yeah, that was well explained. This is talking about the respect. The attempt to disrespect is key. It may not be successful, but if you intend to make, love that. Sorry, Robinson, your comment was very valid, but it scrolled and it doesn't care anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I can go to it. Yeah, well explained. The attempt to, you got it?
No, go ahead.
The attempt to disrespect is key. It may not be successful, but if you intend to make me feel less than, that's disrespectful, even if it is not successful. Absolutely. So true. Danielle in the building. What up, Danielle? Welcome. You gonna quit coming in late. 8:30.
Second or third time. We went on at 8:30.
I know,
but,
that's true.
8:30-ish. It's 9:00 now.
Let me quit time.
Robinson said, yeah, he cooked you. He also says red flags can be great opportunities to build stronger pillars if addressed appropriately and early.
Can we park there for a second?
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's why I said, can you address red flags? I think that got so hyped up through social media. I think we hear the term red flags and immediately that just means abort, run away. Yeah, but absolutely. Everybody, I don't care who you are, everybody has their area of red flag. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a thing that for somebody is like I don't know if I can live with that for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
And there's just
I didn't have that with you.
You just didn't know it. You found it once we got in this house together. You was like,
No, there was nothing that was like, I don't think I know if I'll be able to live the rest of my life like that.
We was in marriage counseling and discussing things that you were like, this has to change. We was coming back from the marriage counseling sessions.
Well, okay. I guess you can call it a red flag.
Oh, for sure. Huge.
It was
huge. Say what?
Need a little behavior modification. That's all.
But it becomes red flag if there's no modification, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But everybody has that thing. And this is, I think, when we talk about what they never told us, when I think about marriage and all those things that I had fantasized and dreamed up in my mind about what this was going to be, this is the one thing that no one communicated to me about what marriage is. Marriage is intentional friction. What you get in community is what the Bible calls iron sharpening iron, right? Which is a beautiful thing because it makes you better. It sharpens you, right? But that is from a rubbing, a friction, a back and forth. In real, true friendship, community, relationship, whatever valuable relationship you have is going to do that. Like, I was joking and playing lightfully about my boy Robinson doing it in the way that he did it, but my boy Robinson is like a fitness guru. He's constantly lifting weights. So for him, it was like, fam, you not finna just be in my crew, and I'm not gonna tell you that, boy, your back is expanding, my brother. What we gonna do? I remember one day he took me to the gym. Oh my God. He took me to the gym. He's like, come on, man, we just gonna lift. I never went back in the gym. I don't think I lifted since. I said never again. But that was friction. It was tension that was so necessary for me. And I would say that I went to extremes to lose the weight, but a lot of that was behind a relationship that held me accountable to that. And no relationship is going to do that for you more than marriage. That person that is one with you, that sees you every day, sees the areas you that sometimes you don't even see. That's like, hey, yo, you got a lot of pride. Or, hey, yo, you can't, how come can't nobody tell you nothing? Hey, yo, listen, like, why are you raising your voice? Making you look at yourself and be like, dang, that's not going to work. If you come to this marriage expecting, if you love me, you'll just accept me for who I am, it ain't going to work. Biggest red flag. But everybody got that thing that you're going to have to get that friction for.
And the real talk is it's multiple things. It's not just one thing. Like, it's multiple things. And it's
unless you're me, it's just like one or two. You can say, I ain't had that with you. Don't do that.
I didn't have nothing that didn't make me not want to marry you. But
we all got that thing.
We all have those things. And
Absolutely.
I think that similar on the lines of what you said, like, the biggest part for me of not our marriage counseling, but marriage counseling before, is just like, what does everyday life look like when you're married to somebody? And the truth is, I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast or not, but dying to self. Like, it is literally every moment, like, having to evaluate, like, what's best for us. Like, not just what's best for me, but what's best for us. Because I really like this part of me. Like, it actually serves me very well everywhere except my marriage. Yeah. And if it doesn't serve me well, then here in this thing, then it doesn't do me a service to have it still be a part of me. And dying to that part of me is painful. Like, it's excruciating. I don't want to let go of something that has kept me protected, that has helped me feel safe, that has helped me feel secure in who I am. But my partner is bringing it up to me not to hurt me. And I think that was the biggest learning point for me, is that if you're bringing up something that you see that is like, hey, yo, I don't like this. This is not good. Like, that you're not telling me that to hurt me. And I had to really do the work to see beyond, like, why are you telling me that? What's your motive? Like, are you just trying to hurt my feelings? Or, like, do you want me to be a better person? And once I understood that, like, no, he just wants me to be a better person. Like, when you were telling me, you need to get your voice out there, you need to speak. And I just kept feeling like, oh my God, stop trying to make me you. Like, I'm not that person. I like being behind the scenes. I don't want to talk to nobody. But the more I thought about it, and I'm like, why would he be telling me this? Obviously, he doesn't want me to get out there and embarrass myself. Fact. Because that's what it feels like. It feels like, oh, you know that I stumble over my words. You know that, like, you're trying to embarrass me.
If you was terrible at it, I would not be pushing you. You finna embarrass me.
But I mean, that's the internal talk that happens because I didn't value my voice. Yeah. So, like, if I don't value that, and then you call attention to something that I'm already a little insecure about, now it just makes me feel like you trying to shame me. You trying to embarrass me. Yeah. And I think knowing the heart of your partner is so important, but also just being willing to, like, have a listening ear. I definitely got a Kanye spirit. You can't tell me nothing. Like, I will readily admit that. But this relationship is breaking that out of me, and it's showing me, like, dang, sometimes you don't know everything, and you do got to sit and listen. And it's hard. It's hard to just, like, let him go at me and be like, y'all saw it on the episode. He's explaining himself, and my face is doing all types of crazy stuff because I want to fire back. I want to give you all these rebuttals, but it's like, at the end of the day, does that serve us? No. Sure. So I got to let it go.
One of the most beautiful analogies I heard about altars is where things go to die. Back in the day, they used to sacrifice animals on the altar. Things go there to die. Funerals.
Did we have this conversation on the podcast? Because I feel like I just said that.
You might have. It's a very popular analogy.
No, I'm like,
for sure.
I'm having deja vu, or
maybe funerals. Funerals. That body is on the altar, And marriages happen at the altar. It is where things go to die. And all of those things, whether you go to the altar for prayer, whether you going there to get saved, whether you going there to get married, whether you going there for your funeral, some got to die. It's some parts of you through this marriage that you're going to realize I can't live with you and live with this version of myself at the same time. And some of us fail at marriage and fail a relationship because we're more committed to holding on to parts of ourselves than holding on to our partner. Like, I'd rather keep my pride than swallow my pride and keep this, trust between us. I'd rather keep my self-centered nature rather than be willing to, give into that and share with my spouse. So yeah, this is where things go to die. The homie Des Logan is here.
Hey,
Fam,
Des.
Has Des ever been on here?
I mean, yes.
All right, I'm gonna give
He's
him
popped in.
everyone getting these sound effects today. Des says, hey, y'all, I think some red flags can be addressed and adjusted to satisfy both people. At the same time, I think there are red flags that once addressed will probably be the deal breaker any. Some things can be addressed and fixed without conflict or issue, but some can't. That's real.
That's very true.
That's real.
It's very true.
We had an episode that we did, I think our first season, called Non-Negotiables. And it was just like, I think it was a real valuable episode, especially for singles. If you're listening now, if you're on live, or if you're listening to the recorded episode on streaming, find that episode. If you are in your single season, it is so key. Everybody has to have those things that I am not willing to negotiate on. And if you have a red flag in an area that's a non-negotiable, then yeah, ain't no way working around that.
But I will say that, like, you can determine what your non-negotiable is, right? Like,
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
it's not up for anybody else to say that. But I would strongly encourage you to evaluate why that is a non-negotiable for you. Because some people will be like, he can't have no kids, like, because you think you're gonna deal with baby mama drama or whatever. Like,
yeah.
But is that a reason why you would potentially stop yourself from being in a very fruitful relationship because they have children? Like, I think some stuff we just have in our head, like, if I accept this, then it's going to be a certain way, and that's not necessarily the case until you experience it.
Yeah, certain red flags, when I think of the ones that are just like, yeah, this is just not gonna work. I don't care how much. Yeah. Like, every time she get mad, I start getting slapped. She throwing stuff. She starts saying my pee is small. And now it's like, okay, yeah, no, you. Where's the ejection button? Like, I gotta go. Every time he get mad, I'm all types of B words and H's and like, yeah, no. There ain't no, you need therapy, sir. And before I consider anything, you need to, you need Jesus in therapy, yo.
Therapy by Rob. Shout out to you. Put your information in the chat. Ashley says, I'd address it, but I asked myself the question, is this flag something I can live with if it never changes? That's such a good, like,
wow.
You have to know, like,
can I live with it if they don't change? I never thought, in my mind, I'm just like, yeah, we got to be able to change. But what do you do if they don't? And it's so dope to even consider, like, I'm not even going to step into this if I'm not willing to stay with it, even if it doesn't change. Because most of us go into situations
thinking
just
we can change them.
Thinking we can change them, or so much faith that after so much time they will. And the reality is, I know so many people and well into their old ages, and they still who they were when they was in their 30s.
And I think that's a common misconception with marriage. Like, somebody is some way while you're dating, but if you get married, they're going to change. That's not true. If they are that way while you are dating, marriage does not automatically wave a wand and they change. So you have to be able to address that change and then see fruit that they are willing to change that. Because if you get married just expecting them to change, I'm telling you, it's not a magic wand. It's not. And in fact, it probably exposes more stuff than what you would have saw before when you guys were just dating and living in separate homes and all that stuff.
That part. Let's start taking down the chat.
Not you, not Jay shouting his own self out. Jalen has entered the chat.
It's an OG. What up, fam? Daniel says, I'm sorry, but I'm here and ready to learn.
Hey,
I'm glad you're here.
Trish Better. Hey, she says both people have to be willing to live to be in that friction. That's very true.
That's real. And there's a lot. I think because of our history of divorce and because we've kind of found a niche to speak into that community and people who've been through that, I get a lot of people, a lot of homies, a lot of people who have access to me, and they're on that concussed. They're like, dang, I don't know if I can keep doing this thing. And when it comes to them, like, man, I don't know if this is going to work. My first question is, do you still have some fight in you? Number one, I'm going to tell you, this ain't what you want. I know you mad at whatever you mad about. I know you frustrated, but I'm telling you what's on the other side of that pales in comparison to what you're going through. You're frustrated about this thing that from where I'm sitting, although you're frustrated, I have the advantage of being removed. So I'm not wrapped up in emotion. I'm just looking at the realities of this. And I'm telling you, you can get past this, G. But if you don't got no fight in you, then you can't. Like, it doesn't matter how big or small the issue is.
Could you find the fight? Like, could it come back?
I can't answer that for somebody. I think it's possible to, for sure. I think I think those things are so momentary. Like emotions are so fickle. And you can have a day where you're willing, and if something just goes in the right set of circumstances, you'll throw it all away in that day.
Yeah.
There's people who are sitting down in a prison cell for the rest of their life, not because they planned on doing anything wrong. They just lost control in a moment, and they did something in 5 minutes that changed the rest of their life, right? Because of emotion. It's so fickle. And a lot of us make permanent decisions with momentary emotions, and it's so damaging.
One of our followers on Instagram said something that was just so simple but so profound. I'm not sure if I said it here before, but she said feelings are to be felt and not followed. And I was like, man, that's so good, because a lot of us just chase our feelings. Whatever, if I feel this way, then I'm supposed to do this. If I feel this way, then I'm supposed to go there. And it's like, you're following your feelings will get you effed up. I'm telling you.
It's harder for emotional people to recognize that because we're so close to them. And I'm speaking that because that's me. I've always been an emotional guy, and I've been so in touch with them to the point where they have such a, for someone who's logical, they're led by thought. They're led by fact.
Yes,
they're led by like the ABC, which can be like, don't get me wrong. I ain't saying
it ain't one better or worse.
Ain't one no better or worse. You got to have a balance. But for people who are emotional, they hold so much weight. If I feel it, it then becomes fact.
It's real, yeah.
And for the logical person, if it's fact, it leaves no room for feeling. This is my fact. This is my truth. So your feelings don't matter.
Yes.
So someone who's mad logical, if you're with someone who's emotional, it'll cause so much friction.
Yes, trust us, we know.
Oh yeah. No. That you talk about our constant. It's like, but I feel, but the fact.
Who cares?
Yeah, but the way it made me feel, yes, but the fact is, all right, yo. But it's about that balance in the middle. So 100%, I agree with what you said.
Shayla said the word divorce hurt me. It's not supposed to happen, but it did. Yeah, it's a bad word. It's a bad word.
The word divorce?
Yeah, and I think too, like throwing that around is very hurtful. You're in a relationship, and if you don't mean it, but every time y'all get into an argument or a conflict, your first reaction is, hey, yo, we need to get a divorce. To me, that's a red flag that needs to be addressed immediately.
Yeah. Even if you mean it, you have to be so careful about when you, like, if you're not saying you're walking out the door, then shut up about it. Like, don't say, yo, I'm telling you, I can't do this no more. I'm about to leave. And
then don't.
Yeah, like number one, man, measure your words. Words are powerful. And
it does something to the trust on the other side.
It is something to the trust. Like, we talk about, do you have to fight for it? I can't fight for something that
you already checked out of,
or anything that there's like a anvil hanging over my head. Yeah. Like it's like, okay, just drop. Because at this point,
it takes two people for a relationship to work. And if my partner is telling me, because we have this conflict, because we have this issue, that you want to get divorced, even if I want it, I'm not gonna fight for it, because you've already checked out on me. That word has entered the chat, and once that word enters the chat, like, you can't erase it. Even if you stay, it never erases the sting of like, hey, yo, you've asked for a divorce, and now if you've asked for it multiple times,
that part,
and ain't went nowhere, yeah, I have a problem with that. That's a red flag for me.
Absolutely. Hey, yo, Robinson, don't get ejected about this daggone chat.
Which one?
Robinson talking about some. My stepdaughter just came in. Oh yeah,
I put that on the screen.
Yo, your level of petty is beyond me.
Thank you.
Said my stepdaughter just came in and looked at the show and said, "Who was that? His daughter?" laugh emoji, laugh emoji, laugh emoji. And you put the sideways laugh emoji, which is so disrespectful. She said, you look young, Brandy. Hey, listen. I ain't about to talk about the baby. But you know I want to start cooking. You're like,
I got this new face mask. It's a Chinese ritual.
I mean, she older than me. That's what's really bothering me.
It's amazing.
She older than me, which is really making me upset.
First of all, ain't nobody asked that. That's not what the comment was about.
Robinson also said, facts, got to be willing to endure. And he said, it takes two. Feelings are meant to be felt, not followed. Equals bars, my boy.
I told her, I was like, oh, you spitting. You need to coin that. You need to put that on a t-shirt.
That's a hoodie. It's a hoodie. Absolutely.
I can't tell. Are we at the bottom?
That we at the bottom.
Ooh.
We have made it. Oh no, Robinson's still trolling. I was wondering why that was posted on the screen. Because Brandy is petty. She don't get compliments. I didn't
want to miss it. I didn't want to skip that one.
Right, we got it now. You go ahead and move that out the way. Put the chat back up.
Screenshot it for my story.
I'm gonna start taking over the laptop because this is beyond me.
No, so anyways, what else did we talk about on the episode?
I don't know.
Oh, we talked about baby mamas and baby daddies and dealing with them in new relationships.
Let me ask you this: for those of you, it's very rare to meet someone, especially for, I think most of us who are listening are at least above 25, at minimum 25. But like,
any babies in the room?
Not in the room. I just mean who listen to us in general.
Okay.
Even for the repost episode, it's very rare. Is that really still a deal breaker for some people?
I never dated anybody with kids seriously dated them until you. You're the first person that I've ever dealt with that had kids.
But I ain't gonna say that. A lot of yours was just crazy.
I mean, it's true.
They didn't have.
They ain't got nothing to do with whether they had kids or not. Like, it was my preference in that, and I thought that would be an issue. It's like, I don't want to deal with the baby mama, baby daddy drama. I don't want nobody pulling up. I don't want nobody withholding your kids from you because you got a new relationship. Like, all of that, I didn't want to deal with that. But I think it's still, I mean, it's hard. You narrow in the pool a lot if that's one of your criteria. But I do think people still look for that.
You're cutting off 70% of the dating pool.
If you're looking for somebody very specific.
Oh, very specific.
Looking for a needle in a needle stack.
And honestly, I don't mean this. I think sometimes the perception can be there that if you don't have kids by a certain age, you'd be like, what's wrong with you?
That is true.
It'd be like, yeah, so why not though? Because
you're responsible.
Did no one want to procreate with you because there's something wrong? Or
No, I hate that's
responsible.
Is so it's because you're responsible.
Responsible is so rare.
Ryan says, I'm gonna be at the meetup with lady and my ex when the time comes. You shouldn't.
Why?
I don't think you should.
This is nothing. Never mind. I'm not.
It's just my personal opinion. I don't think you should.
I'm just so you know the context of what me and Brandy are talking about. I arranged a sit down between my ex-wife and Brandy, to which Brandy has made a executive decision to keep the contents of the conversation secretive. To this day, I don't know what they spoke about. I don't fully understand what the point of that is or the why in that. I don't think nothing's wrong with what Ryan did. Like, to say you shouldn't is wild to me. That's his.
I said that's my personal opinion.
I feel you. I'm giving mine about yours.
You can't do that. You give your opinion about my opinion.
Why not? That's what we podding. So to me, it's like, okay, number one, that's my ex-wife. That's the mother of my children. You're my future wife. What are y'all talking about that? Number one, clearly has to do with me or my children that I shouldn't be privy to, or even going out of your way to just not inform me. It's like, why would that be a secret? It's so weird.
The part of the conversation that I don't tell you had nothing to do with you or your children. So
I'm calling Cap.
It's not Cap.
I'm calling Colin Kaepernick.
Ashley says, in my opinion, I think the conversation should be between the two women. Woman to woman, I agree. As a woman, my reasoning behind it was I wanted her to know my heart. And for me, like communicating my heart to another woman, it doesn't have anything to do with you.
Yeah.
Like, in allowing her to express herself fully to me without worrying about what she says is going to upset you. And I wanted to build a level of trust with her that whatever you say in this room is between me and you, and I'm not going to go run back and tell your ex, because that's essentially what you are.
You told her that?
Tell your ex what we talked about here. I want you to know that what you and I are building is far beyond what me and him have and what I have with what you have, or the three of y'all have with your kids. Like, I'm a new person inserting myself into an established family. Like, that's not easy for you to accept. So if you have feelings about that, if you have feelings about anything related to this situation, related to him or related to me, you have a safe space right now with me to say that. And you don't have to worry about me going back to him and saying that. And when she opens up her heart to me, I would be remiss to violate that and come run back and tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to hear that, but that's real.
I think y'all be what do you call it? Picky choosy with the woman to woman thing. Y'all use that when y'all want to. But when they come to you woman to woman in the DMs, y'all be like, y'all don't come to me woman to woman about nothing.
I've never said that.
Nah, it's a common trend on social media. I'm being lighthearted. I
wholeheartedly believe, like, look, if you got something on my man, come and tell me.
I'm gonna investigate. I hear you. If I know, say what you will, but if I would have been like, hey yo, can you tell Dorian I'll talk to him? Yeah, and if I go talk,
were you just saying names?
Did I?
Yeah.
Sorry. Man. Everybody here would know us.
Yeah, man.
I'll beep it out when we repost it. Everybody here know. But if I were like, yo, let me talk to your ex, line it up, or you coordinate it, tell him I'll be over there, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, so what was that about? And I'm just like, yeah, don't worry about it.
I literally tried to do that. Did I not try to do that? And he was like, I don't need to talk to dude.
No, I'm saying if I actually did, and then you're like, so how'd it go? And I was just like, we're not going to talk about it. You'd be like.
Not true. Not true. The women understand. Robinson says sometimes woman on woman and men to men combos got to happen, period. Danielle
I definitely think the conversation is necessary. Absolutely.
Just a woman to woman thing. And Ryan going to say, Barbara, this is Shirley. You got another song. But no, for real. I just have really strong feelings about when it comes to that, stuff like that. I really do. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, we have to maintain a relationship. And I believe that the relationship that number one, I thought it was my responsibility. So dealing with somebody with a baby mama or an ex-wife that you gonna have to deal with for the rest of the time, I think it is on the new person in the situation to make that work. Like, you're the neutral party, and I think you have to do everything that you can to make sure that that man or that woman has a relationship with their kids, and that man or woman has a good relationship with their ex. Now, obviously you can't make them do nothing, but I don't believe that you should ever stand in the way. And if you have to get involved, your involvement should be to be like, okay, let me break it down to you what she might be feeling from a woman's perspective. Or if you the man, hey, let me show you what he might be feeling from a man's perspective. And it is your job to help make that relationship work and not be a barrier. One of the ways that I believe two women can make that relationship work without being a barrier is to establish a level of trust early on, where the person, the ex, feels like they can trust you with their kids and with their family, and to have their best interest and not to be a barrier in that situation. And sometimes you got to go out your way to do that.
Whoop, there it is. 3 years in. I mean, that conversation. Oh, now, I mean, at this point, it is what it is.
But it worked.
I mean, y'all don't really talk. Y'all don't have no dealings. Like,
that's not true.
How often do you talk to her? Aside from like just, I mean, like actual, your relationship is with me.
Yes, but I'm saying like we might not talk, like we communicate every day, but if I need to text her about something, I can do that.
How often do you say you text her?
I mean, I don't really need to, but if I need to, I do. Like, hey, what is this? When can we go here? When she couldn't make it to one of the wrestling events, I'm texting her the pictures and the videos from the events. Like, hey, you can drop them off here. She can just call me if she needs to.
I feel you. I guess I'm not dismissing the need for trust between the ex and the new person. I guess to me it's like misplaced. I don't know. It's like y'all having secret conversations or like.
It's not.
That's what. But see, that's where it lands with me. It'd be like, who? I mean, you and me. They're like, that's mine. You like you having conversations, but you can't tell me what's about. It's like. It's just like it feels weird. I don't know.
If Mike came to you in confidence and he's like, my son. He's like, yo, I just want to have this conversation with you. I don't want you to go back and tell him. It's not anything detrimental. It's not anything dangerous. It's just something. He's a young man and he wants to talk to another man and he don't want you running back and telling his mama.
So there's a difference in relational. Like that's like I'm playing a father role in a lot of ways to him. So.
And I'm playing a mother role in a lot of ways to her children.
What's that have to do with your relationship with her? Like that's like it's different if it's like Sink or Lily. Like we're talking about. I keep saying names. We forget we all lie.
It's our kids though. We've said our kids' names.
Okay,
a lot.
Yeah. It's like this is essentially you don't really have relationship there. Like y'all co-work together for an expected end, but in terms of like actual relational equity, there is none there. There's a mutual respect and, vice versa. Like even with yours, there's no relationship. There is understanding and we operate within the means of respect. But in terms of like relational equity, like that's here.
The foundation of that was set in that conversation.
I mean, like I said, it is what it is. I stake my flag differently. It's just, it always felt weird. It was like, huh? Like, what you mean? It's like, yeah, no, I'd rather not say.
I don't think.
You got me coordinate a conversation. I can't even know what y'all talked about. Like, how did it go? Like,
I've told you how it went.
It went good. It was fine. That's all I know. I'm like, yo, this is and I'm nosy by nature.
That's what it is more than anything. That's all it is.
But hold on. But when we talk about like relational equity, that there's far more there, and with the kids, so it's like,
do you mistrust me because of that?
No, okay. I'm not saying that. It's just I think the one word is the one I keep using. It's just weird. I just don't understand.
Oh, you don't understand it. That's okay.
I don't understand it.
I can live with that.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan, I think if you want to be there, I don't think there's a right or a wrong way to do it. I will say, I approached this situation in the way that I did because it's what I would have wanted on the other end. And I think it behooves you to just understand, like, what is the expectation from your ex, right? What is that expectation? Because there was a woman in my children's life before I ever laid eyes on her, before I ever knew who she was, before I ever knew a name. And I feel like that's disrespectful. So as long as you're making an effort to make that conversation happen, make that introduction happen, I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it, whether you're in the room, not in the room, phone, FaceTime, in person, whatever. But I do believe that the conversation needs to happen. So I think it's just even a big deal that you're willing to make that conversation happen, because I think a lot of people will be like, nah, you don't got to talk to her for what? Nah, you don't got to talk to him for what? Like, that's my ex. You don't got to deal with them. And that's really not the case. Even if I never have to have a word with them, I want them to know that I'm a safe space for their children.
Absolutely. All of this is further reason why I see why people be like, I don't want to deal with nobody with kids. And Roy Robinson summed it up. He said, what'd he say? Blended family stuff, complex and tricky. Yeah, he said Mom Dukes is an expert on that spit. Yeah, it can get real tricky, sticky, stale. And I can see why someone's just like, I'd rather just start clean slate.
Russell's 100% the mediator between me and my ex, whether he wants to or not.
I don't want to.
Yeah, he has taken on that role, because like me and you, we can't communicate. So talk to my husband, because I don't know what to do with you.
Man, for real. For real. So listen, if you are number one, a member of the What They Never Told Us community, and you're listening right now via the streaming Apple Podcasts or Spotify, praying for you out there in them waters, them single dating pool waters, because it's dangerous waters out there. It's deep waters too. Be careful.
But it is possible to find somebody, and I think that
100%.
a lot of the narrative around dating right now is like pretty much what we called that one episode where we talked about dating, like the dating pool has piss in it. But the truth is, like, there is somebody out there. You just have to be willing to do the work to find them. And I think sometimes we want somebody to come ready made, and that's really not the case. There's not anyone that knows how to love you absolutely perfectly with no flaw, just the way you are. People have to be taught how to love you. And if you find somebody that's willing to learn how to love you, I think sometimes we are too quick to write those people off, like, because they don't meet the height requirement, the complexion, the salary, whatever it is. But like, finding somebody that's willing to like change their life to love you, that's priceless.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna hold you. I think the trajectory of just where society is going is gonna get even harder to like build that foundation, because like I work with kids. That's my everyday. I'm up close and personal to how the next generation thinks, and it is scary. Like, in terms of just want in meeting the want, that timeline is so short. Like, I remember back in the day, like little stuff like this. If I didn't want what my mom cooked, it did not matter, because who was about to go buy you a separate meal when I've cooked here already? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not driving to McDonald's when I cook meal. But now we got Cash App, we got DoorDash. So if I have my own money that grandma sent me $10, I can DoorDash my own food. You ain't getting nothing on DoorDash for $10, but you can DoorDash your own stuff. Like, if I want information, you used to, like, when I was working on a project, I would have to go get books, find it. When I wanted to look at vocabulary words, I had to know how to do alphabetical order and look at the word, read the definition, how to put it in a sentence. Now you literally have AI. You don't have to literally think about anything. Like, I remember my dad to this day can go from here to Virginia to multiple places with nothing, not a GPS turned on or nothing, because before he learned how to do it, he did it with the map. Mm-hmm. He routed, know where the gas station was through the map. Mm-hmm. And now, I don't care what happens in the world. If the whole system shut down, he can get home to his family in Virginia off of memory. Our kids ain't gonna know how to do that. I don't know how to do that.
It's our fault.
If the system shuts down, I can't get to a lot of in my own city.
Yeah, Russell ain't getting that. He ain't making.
I ain't getting nowhere. I ain't getting nowhere. But it's even gonna get even worse now, because like now we just look at creativity. I don't even have to work really hard to think of the next line in a song I'm writing. Mm-hmm. I could say, "Hey, yo, what's a possible next line for this lyric?" Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "Oh, that's fire." So now the creativity spark is becoming dependent on technology. What's the point? I'm saying that if everything I want, I get like this with no work, no effort, that's going to be reflected in my expectations in every other thing in life. If every other area of my life it's easy, then when I come to this, I want it easy too. You got to come how I want it, and then you got a short time limit to change. But that's just not realistic. Change is a process, and it's a slow process. Some of us 30 still trying to shake off behavior we had when we were 13. It's a process. And if you're going into this, any form of relationship, if you're going into especially a marriage relationship and you don't have the patience for process, what relationship can you get to work? Not a one. That attitude that you don't like on your spouse, you think they've been this way for 25, 30, 35 years. You think just because you don't like it, they're going to change overnight? No, it's going to take a lot of patience. It's going to take a lot of nights where you lose the argument. It's going to take a lot of nights where you go to bed feeling like they don't understand. But it's the resolve of, I'm not going nowhere though. I'm going to pray this thing up off you. We're going to keep talking about it. And every time we get to this issue, it's just another opportunity to see the signs that what we're doing is working. And once again, panning back to what some Ashley said in the chat, even if they don't change, is it something you can live with? Like if I'm processing that before we even get married, then even if you don't change, I got resolve. I'm not going nowhere. Love is not easy. It takes some like grit, and we gonna figure this out.
Stick-to-itiveness.
Man, if you soft, don't step in these waters, you gonna get ate alive.
If you soft, stay single.
You can get ate alive. You're gonna be splitting days with your kids. You're gonna be trying to figure out who get what, who get the sofa, who get what car, who get the house. If you're not ready, and so many of us stepped into this and didn't have these conversations, didn't have this viewpoint. So we stepped into it thinking it was going to be a breeze, thinking it was going to be like the good part of the movie.
I thought this was I was going to sail through the rest of my life.
Couldn't
Everything was going to be good. It's only up from here.
My boy, one of my best friends, I remember my best friend and his wife and me and my ex-wife, that was like our crew. We all used to hang out all the time. And I remember they were talking about an issue they were having, and we were so cocky. It was like, oh, we never argue. Like, what can't be? It's like, it's not that we don't disagree. We just don't argue. We were so cocky. Boy, it had to been like maybe a year after my divorce. He was like, you remember that time when you said, I said,
so he didn't come back to you.
But I couldn't say nothing. I was like, you're right. Like I had to eat that, and I've tucked that in my heart. I'll never forget it because it shows you that the absence of argument is not the presence of peace. The absence of friction is not the presence of smooth, right? You can have something that has never seen friction and it'll be jagged and coarse, but you'll take two jagged stones and you get some friction and you keep rubbing, that stone is going to be so smooth. And we get that. You find them old couples that's been together and they 80 plus and they still got two straws in the one milkshake. That's friction. They have stood the test of time because at some point they just said, I ain't going nowhere, you ain't going nowhere. Heck, even old couples who still got a little attitude in them, they still gonna get up and make that pot of coffee. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, Robinson, we putting it on the shirt. If you soft, stay single.
Marriage matters on the front.
Married life.
If you soft, stay single. Hey, yo, that's a T.
It's going on the T-shirt.
It's going on to what they never told the shop. Hey, absolutely.
Oh man, so yeah, that was a good conversation. We're gonna be wrapping it up here in a second, y'all.
Hey, the homie Ryan said,
what Ryan say?
Glad I'm delivered from that singleness glory.
Hey, now you need to shout music.
I'm updating my sound buttons. I'm updating the sound bar. Fact.
You need it for sure. Yeah, that's all I got.
Thing says, yeah, it's serious out here.
Oh yeah, she talking about the single life.
Yeah, no, I'm serious out here praying for y'all. And if that's what you want, the best way to be ready is to take advantage of your single season.
Work on yourself.
Yeah, work on yourself. So when the right one come, they see it easy. Like, oh, I'm not letting this one go. You're going to have to fight this one up off of me.
Wait, no, that's a little stalkerish.
No. Hey, this one ain't going nowhere.
Hey, we don't want the Tevin Campbell.
Y'all be singing it like y'all want it.
No, thank you.
Too funny. Y'all, thank y'all so much for rocking with us. Another fun live episode. These are always our favorites. We love the pre-recorded joints, but we live for Thursdays. Every time on Thursday, I'll be like, oh, we got to go do this. But as soon as we get rolling, I'm like, oh, this is lit. It's lit.
It's the best part. It's the best part of the podcast. I mean, we talk to each other all the time. So like the Tuesday is like, we can do that in our sleep. But this is fun.
This is fun.
It's always fun. And we love y'all.
Absolutely. Do not forget, we will be back on Tuesday. Tuesday, there will be a new episode. We try to get YouTube up the same day, but if it's not, it'll be there by Wednesday-ish.
I'm going to do something that's not sanctioned, but you know what? It's my podcast too. So not next week, but the following week, we are also going to be doing Ask R&B. So we need y'all to, there you go. Hey, it's going to be Ask
This one's a little different, right?
Going to be an episode of Ask R&B. We are going to try to conference some people in, but for the episode, I think we should do that for the live. For the actual episode.
No.
What?
Let's do both.
Just submit your questions and you might have a chance to actually be on air. But we just want y'all to submit the questions, things that you would like us to address, maybe topics that maybe we touched on, but you want us to go a little further, or even if it's new topics. We are going to be doing that not this next coming Tuesday, but the following Tuesday will be Ask R&B with an opportunity to be live on the show. Not live on Thursday, but like recorded with us on Tuesday.
For sure. We would love to have your, not just your questions, but your voice as well. If you like to remain anonymous, which most of the people that write into Ask R&B do, just let us know in the feedback. Where they send the message to is on the email address.
Yep. So you can send it to any of our DMs on social media. We are What They Never Told Us pod on all social media except for Facebook. So you can hit us up on Messenger, DM on Instagram and TikTok, or you can email whattheynevertolduspod@gmail.com.
Absolutely. Send those questions in. We'd love to discuss. And to me, y'all, we be sitting here trying to think of topics, but what y'all be going through is the best topics. So
For real, our friends know that for sure because they have given us a lot of material for this season.
the entire season is the fam.
So if you ever wonder, is they talking about me? Yep. Yep.
Don't do that. Not all the time. Sometimes it just be the Holy Spirit just be like, yeah, nah, this is for you. But yeah, nah, absolutely excited for that episode. You said not this one, but the next one.
Yes, the next one. I don't know what that's like, the 18th or something. I don't know.
Yep. So the deadline will be next Thursday. Have your questions in by next Thursday. And once again, that's What They Never Told Us pod on all platforms.
20th.
And What They Never Told Us pod@gmail.com to put your questions in. And also, if you're brave, we'd love to have your voice on the pod. We want to interact with you. We want to kick it with you. We want to talk with you. So looking forward to that, y'all.
Yeah. And of course, if you have our numbers, just text us. That works too.
That part.
All right. We signing off. So always remember that we love love.
And y'all really should love too. Peace.
It's always that awkward moment where I got